So here's what I want to say about the last 5 years. Sorry, not sorry. I'm really genuinely sorry that more people don't like me. But I am not sorry about all of the things that we're doing in Ontario to make life better.
Whether this resonates with you or absolutely infuriates you, Wynne has done some things that she's allowed to brag about. Over the past 5 years, the Wynne government has made Dalton McGuinty's dream of full-day kindergarten a reality. It has expanded public drug coverage for people under 25, reformed OSAP and the Ontario Pension Plan, and raised the minimum wage, which is a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you ask. But the Liberals have been in power in Ontario for 15 years, and in that time, the party has managed to annoy pretty much everyone. And while it's a bold move for Wynne to double down on her record at a time when her chances of re-election seem slim, if voters are entitled to an apology on one issue, it's hydro. It depends on where you live and how much energy you consume, but on average, over the past decade, people's electricity bills have gone through the roof. Why? Well, it comes down to a series of complex policy decisions. It was PC Premier Mike Harris who dismantled the provincially owned Ontario Hydro into separate agencies as part of a plan to privatize most of the hydro system. When it became clear that wasn't going to save the province money, he abandoned the plan and the province accumulated more debt instead of less.
Thank you for granting us the privilege of serving you as your government.
In 2003, Liberal Dalton McGuinty's government inherited an aging hydro system that couldn't keep up with demand. So he started swiping the provincial credit card, upgrading infrastructure, and commissioning new natural gas, wind, and solar plants. It was his government that locked the province into costly 20-year contracts with private energy producers. The contracts basically guarantee that the province would pay companies a certain amount regardless of how much electricity they produced, which is largely why today we're all paying for energy that we don't actually need. And who could forget the canceling of 2 gas-fired power plants for political reasons?
And then covering up the estimated $1.1 billion cost.
I've made it clear that I believe my government got the decision to locate gas plants in Oakville and Mississauga wrong.
Wynne takes a lot of heat for partially privatizing Hydro One, but so far it has had little impact on rates, despite most Ontarians believing that they'd pay more. The Liberals, meanwhile, have spent billions of dollars to artificially lower electricity costs in the short term, which is racking up a lot of debt.
There was rejoicing when the provincial government announced that Ontarians would be finally getting a break on their hydro bills by implementing a 25% rate cut. But in a scathing special report released today by Ontario's Auditor General, Bonnie Lysyk says that this plan will actually cost billions in extra interest, thanks to what she calls a needlessly complex financing structure.
The government structure will hide from Ontarians the real financial impacts of its electricity rate reduction.
In the long term, rates are going to continue to climb and make life more expensive for Ontarians. And for that, the Liberals might want to consider apologizing.
What Wynne is trying to do here is sort of retake control of the narrative. She's trying to acknowledge the tide of negative public sentiment that exists towards her, but sort of flip it on its head and instead point out the things she does not feel she has to apologize for. It remains to be seen, though, how this will land with people, because I think how they respond to it will depend a lot on what they thought of her and her government in the first place.
And the Liberals have done this exact thing before.
Well, the polls tell us I'm not the most popular guy in the country. I accept that. Doing what's right is not always doing what's popular. What Ontario has achieved these past 8 years is nothing short of amazing.
McGuinty was re-elected after PC candidate Tim Hudak lost his double-digit lead in a series of campaign gaffes. In that election, many would argue Ontarians were presented with no good options. But in the end, voters gave the Liberals the benefit of the doubt. So, could Wynne's sorry not sorry gambit somehow pull off the same thing this time around? If you know you're going to have a busy day on Election Day, which is June 7th, you can actually vote now, right up until June 6th. So, find out how, go to Elections Ontario's website, and go vote, people. Cast your ballot today. Let's go. Go vote. Go, go, go. Vote. Let's go.
No, I thought you were going to do it again.
No, we got it.